what kind of videos can we put? Because it was cold weather this week. I mean, just cold weather.
Today we got the sun.
Today the sun is shining.
It's 45 degrees, I think.
43 on this little thing right here.
43, okay.
So we've decided, being that I'm going to just tell on myself, I haven't been going to bed early. I can't go to bed early. I don't know why. That's not me. But ever since that day he beat on the door, I said, I am not taking another melatonin. Because I don't want, people coming in on my... I miss the alarms going off. I miss the beating on the door, the doorbell. So I decided I'm not taking another melatonin. Because I want to be prepared if somebody's breaking in my house. That being said, I find myself going to bed at 2:30, 3 a.m. And that's not me. So anyway, I slept till 10:15 this morning. Of course, I went to bed at 2:33. I mean 2:30 to 3 o'clock a.m. And I got up several times, as women do. Which, I don't know why that happens to us, but we could sleep all night. But anyway, so I sat there and I thought, well, what kind of videos can we put out? Because I don't want y'all to forget about us.
Plus, you don't want to go outside.
And I don't really want to go outside.
Unless it's in a car.
So I decided last night, how about we go around and show the farm where we used to live and all the houses that we used to live in all over the place. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to do that and talk about each one and maybe kind of give you a little insight as to where we were in that stage of our life and why we sold, and that we were just like gypsies. Just the Baylesses were gypsies. We couldn't stay in
Never
one
got
thing.
over 35 miles from Hazelburg.
Yeah, I never got it. Well, how far away was the
25, brother.
Farm?
20 to 25.
Really? That's all it was? It took an hour to get there.
But
It took 45 minutes. Well, from the hospital. So anyway, we're going to stop. We're going to go eat first because we've been doing very well. We've not been eating out that I know of. Have we been eating out?
yeah, not that I know of.
Yeah. I haven't been ordering DoorDash. In fact, I put a pause on that so that I wouldn't order DoorDash. DoorDash is one of those meal delivery where you order from a fast food and they bring it.
Well, not just fast food. Any restaurant.
Any restaurant. Any restaurant.
We don't do too much fast food.
No. But anyway, so we're trying to, get ourselves ready to retire in about 3 years and trying to get this YouTube up and running so that, I don't have to get a job. And I want it to be fun for y'all because we're kind of fun people, I think.
Most of the time.
Most of the time. Most of the time we're fun people. And
We have our moments.
We have our moments, yeah. So anyway, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to go to Mexican Kitchen. Now that is our favorite, one of our favorite places to eat. We've been going there since...
Before the kids was born.
Yeah, before the kids were born. So I think we had a Sunday school party there one time when we first got into the church at Petal. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, but I think you were probably going there before that, weren't you? Because Mr. Nestor, didn't he like Mexican Kitchen?
Yeah. We went to lunch a few times there. It was different when it was downtown. I think they opened mostly at night.
Oh, see, I don't remember that. That was before my time.
But then later they started open for lunch and supper. That's when we definitely started going.
Man, especially when I was pregnant, I could literally just take a spoon and dip it in the hot sauce.
Salsa, what they call salsa.
Salsa, yeah. I could just eat it with a spoon.
It's pretty hot, but it's not. It don't take your breath away.
And both my children love it. Even my grandchildren love it.
Yep.
But Rebecca was the same way. She craved it. She craved that really hot salsa. It is so good. So good. And it's one of these restaurants that my husband has worked at before. And so he knows.
It's definitely the cleanest restaurant.
It is one of the cleanest, probably the cleanest restaurants.
It was back when I used to work for him.
Yeah.
She was a fanatical cleaner.
Yeah, so if
which is not a bad thing in a restaurant.
No, you can.
I've seen
Chris
the other side too. I'm
Chris
like,
said you
nope,
could
not
practically
eating there.
eat off the floor. It was so clean, spotless, like scalding hot water clean. They just cleaned
every night.
But if there was a restaurant in town that Chris went to work at, and I'm not gonna say your names because I can't remember them anyway. But if I said, "Oh, Chris, let's go try so and so," and Chris would go, "Nope, not gonna happen." He wouldn't tell me what he saw, but he was like, "Nope, not gonna happen."
Well, I'm not that bad about it, but some of them was pretty disgusting.
Yeah. Yeah.
But not most majority, they're not.
Well, those we're probably talking about like 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Because we've been married. No, it's probably 30 years ago because we've been married. Eli is 36, will be 37 this year, and we got married a year before him. So
I've been married half my life to you.
Really? Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
I think it's a good thing.
I
didn't say it was good or bad. I just said if we've been married 36, that's more than half of my life I've been married to you. So
I think God was right when he sent Chris to me. Of course, Chris at times thinks he's being punished for a lifetime of sin. Because God sent me to him.
I've never said.
Yeah, you have. It's like, what did I do wrong? No. All right, we're at Mexican Kitchen. Trying out the new microphones. I don't know if this is going to help or not. I just wonder. 1, 2, 3. Y'all see these little things right here? I've had them for a while. He's got one too.
Yeah, dude.
I just didn't know how to use them.
It's gonna have to be good to take this accent out.
It's not going to take your accent out. It ain't going to take your accent out.
It'd be tough, wouldn't it?
Yeah. You're going to have some voice lessons.
Yeah.
Like those movie stars. But anyway, I think it's working. I tested it, and I think y'all be able to hear us, especially when we have the air conditioner on and stuff. But anyway, I'm excited.
Me too.
Moving on up. Moving on up. Y'all remember me telling y'all that this thing won't stay on the windshield anymore because it lost its stickiness? Well, I found another sticky thing. So I stuck it on the windshield. Only it turns out it's not a sticky thing. It's not. It only sticks on one side. I didn't know that when I stuck it up there. So guess what? It is stuck to my windshield. It will not come off. It is like cemented up there. Oh well.
I spent like an hour trying to get that sticky off of there.
Yep. I'm going to have another one. I'll give you a little glimpse of our downtown.
Yeah.
It's crazy to think that Mother, when she was young, she lived down here.
That's the South Central Bell building.
See that tower over there? Can you see it now? Well, anyway, that's where Mother worked before she met my dad.
Was it South Central Bell? Then it went to Bell South.
Yeah, South Central Bell. She was operator, long distance operator, I think. But we have a nice little downtown. There's lots of activities and stuff that the
Memorial Park.
This is our Veterans Memorial Park right here. We do have a really nice downtown. One of these buildings, and I'm not going to say which one, but my son-in-law works at. That's the VFW.
This used to be the Jackie Dole building. I don't know if it still is.
I am not sure. Yep, Jackie Dole Community Center.
That's the city's office.
That's the city's office. That's the Sanger Theater right
The
there.
old Sanger
The
Theater.
old Sanger Theater. And I just believe we ran a yellow light, Chris.
Yeah, well, we was doing research.
Oh, is that what it was? Is that what you're going to tell?
Historical research.
Historical research.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a really nice little downtown. Lots of activities. It's very clean. People can walk around. The kids were down here. Ooh, it's gonna run another one. The kids were down here this morning. Yeah, the kids, they go down to the Pocket Museum. There's a alleyway between two of the buildings, and they always have a theme, whether it's Christmas or New Year's or Thanksgiving, and it's called the Pocket Museum. And they go down there and play. I think right before Christmas they had a thing that was making snow, and the kids came and made
That's the
did snow.
American building.
That's the American building. That's where Rebecca and them lived. Now this little building right here,
It was the California Sandwich Stop.
when Mother was younger, and it was the California Sandwich Shop. Of course,
Yep.
here's our little train depot area.
Well, that's the depot over there. This is
Yeah.
behind. This is the yard, I
This
guess.
is the yard. But this is just a lot of history down here.
They just converted that to apartments.
Did they really? Oh yeah, that's apartments now. Wow. But it's just a really nice downtown. Our officials do a really good job of making it safe. That being said, you ain't gonna find me out walking the streets at dark, because I'm just a nervous Nelly. Nervous
Yep.
Nelly. You know what? We've been looking at the things going on in California. Man, that is terrible.
It is terrible.
That is just terrible. Some of the videos that we've seen are people standing inside their house videoing what's happening right outside their window, and it's just like inferno. Is that the word? Just an inferno.
Yeah, Inferno is a
Um,
burning, out of control fire, and I
yeah.
pretty much described it. The wind was, I think I heard 75-mile-an-hour wind was not gusts, the winds 75. You can't take a fire and spread it for miles like that.
That is I can't imagine.
Well, it's
Imagine.
basically a desert. They don't get a lot of rain there. We get plenty of rain here, so.
Is that what it is?
No, we get average 80 to 100 inches a year, and they probably get 12.
No way.
Yeah, maybe 12.
Wow. I guess every area has their own
Natural disasters.
natural disasters. I think.
Yeah, we're blessed with hurricanes and tornadoes.
Yeah, hurricanes, we know it's coming, and we know it's coming for a ways.
Now we do. Years ago they didn't.
Oh, can you imagine? Just one day you wake up going, huh?
Well,
Look a
people
little
were
funny
more
outside.
natural then. They read the signs, like the seagulls and the pelicans and stuff like that, and the fish. They do things when that's fixing to happen, and they knew it.
Where do the seagulls go? I mean,
they get on the beach mostly.
on the beach it's covered with water.
Not before it hits. There's signs. They know when it's coming.
Well, what do they do when it gets windy out there?
Well, a lot of them ended up in Hattiesburg after Katrina.
What?
You don't remember after Katrina when we lived on the lake, all them seagulls in the Lake Serene?
Now that you say it, I think I do.
They blew a bunch of them up here, and they just
Wait, they just blowing? They just
in the
blowing?
wind. Well, they're flying, and they just get caught in the winds, and they have to go to wherever they can stop, I guess. How else would they get here? They didn't walk.
Well, I know they didn't walk. Excuse us while we pause for a moment.
walk. But I mean, it looks like they would try to not be right in the 100-mile-an-hour winds.
Well, I don't think they meant to.
Oh well. But
I don't know.
we do have occasional floods, but not like water coming down a mountain.
No.
And we do have the occasional tornadoes and
Yep.
hurricanes. But earthquakes and fire. Goodness. I just don't know about that. I guess the people up north have the blizzards, which I'm not too fond of that either.
We was in one of them, remember?
Yes, we did get in a blizzard. You remember when I was on top of that mountain and we were, I think I've already told y'all this, but if you're new, then just listen up. If you're old, just listen up. But we were at the top. We had got off the ski lift at the top, and the wind was so strong, it was taking the snow off the ground, and it was like little pellets, just killing my face, just like somebody was throwing sand at us. Yeah, that was not fun at all, and you couldn't see, and I was scared I was going to go off the mountain. And not only that is when I pretended to be hurt, and I got to ride down in the little rescue basket. Because I was sitting down, I wasn't moving another inch. I told Chris, just leave me here. I'm not going. It's hurting. Everything's hurting. And I was sitting down, the 911 rescue people come by, and they said, "Are you hurt, ma'am? Wait, are we going to check the mail?"
No, we're going to see the whole house.
Oh. So, and I said, "Will it get me a ride on that buggy?" And he said, "Yes, ma'am." I said, "Yeah, I'm hurt."
And I had to ski down the mountain. That's when
Chris had to ski down the mountain.
And that's when I couldn't see very far in front of me.
You couldn't see this. I mean, it was awful.
White out, I think they called it.
A white out?
But anyway, I'm going down this mountain.
You're
not even my average skier. I'm below average skier.
But you're much better than me.
Well, I was going along there. All of a sudden, I didn't see it. And apparently some kids had made a ski ramp. So I did a ski jump, and not one person in this world saw it.
Oh, hang on just a minute. Hang on. We're coming up on the very first house that me and Chris lived in. We're in Petal. And that's Miss Johnson's house. That was Miss Johnson's house. Miss Williams. I'm sorry, Miss Williams. And this right here.
This was my grandfather built this in probably 1930.
Our very first house.
Yep.
Isn't that
this changed?
sweet?
There was 2 big oak trees in the front.
And this tree right here, well, it's a different tree, but that had remember that hornet's nest that got in that tree?
That was a cedar tree there.
Yeah. But the very front, right there.
On the left.
On the right-hand side. The front window on the right-hand side of the door. That was the living room.
Yeah.
And on the left side was Eli and Rebecca's bedroom. And the set of windows right there was the dining room.
Right.
And that was the kitchen right there.
Yep.
And we had this carport was enclosed when we first moved in it. And right out here where the cement is, right here.
This wasn't here.
Yeah, the cement wasn't here. That was where their swing set was. Wow.
It was a different shed. My grandpa used to garden all this.
Isn't that sweet? That was our first house.
Yeah.
It was his grandparents' house.
Probably one of my few regrets in life is I didn't buy it. I don't really know. I think it was the time we had the farm.
Yeah.
I think we just bought the farm, and my dad and my aunt decided to sell it.
Go down the side so I can show them the
so
other
I wish
side.
I'd have bought it, but it's
too late now.
Too
now
late.
It's a
law office.
Law office. But right here, that first window was Eli and Rebecca's bedroom. and then the little window was the bathroom, and then that window right here was mine and Chris's room, and then that here was our laundry room slash office slash playroom.
Well, initially it was the pool room.
Now our bedroom was the pool room. Okay, now this little road here is where Chris grew up until they moved out to the big house. So he would come down this little road right here.
Yeah.
And where was your house?
It's down a little ways. That house down there.
With the burgundy shutters?
Yep.
And that is where Chris grew up. Now stop here and tell me about what room was what. Stop right here so I can see.
My bedroom was the back corner. That was Mom and Dad's bedroom over there.
On the side?
Yeah, and this was the living room.
This is the room you couldn't stay in?
Yeah, this is the living room. You did not go in there for any reason.
Go in there? Oh.
And then later, when I was, I don't know, 8 or 9, they built that room off the back.
Who did?
Daddy.
Oh, yeah, what was that room?
It was just a big den and bathroom and laundry room.
The door under the garage, did that go into the
kitchen?
The kitchen.
This
okay.
was the kitchen on this corner.
Well, now was the creek way back there?
Just not far. You see that old truck behind that boat?
Uh-huh.
It's right there behind there.
Oh, that's the creek you fell into every day. Fell in that creek every day, didn't you?
Yep. My grandfather sold this property before I was born.
Oh, he had all this property here?
Well, he didn't have all of it, but he had 20 or 30 acres. And he sold that before I was a kid. Before I was ever even born, or I wasn't old enough to know it.
Oh.
And
isn't that sweet? That's our first house.
This strip mall wasn't here when I was coming up. It was by the time we moved in here.
Yeah, by the time we moved in here, but it was closing down.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Isn't that sweet?
That's one of the old original houses, the Oswalds.
Oswalds?
Yeah. And here's the creek
Oh, here's the creek.
You can see it on this side.
Let me see if I can get a good picture of it. Wait a minute.
You get it?
Yeah. That was the creek.
Yep.
The one he accidentally fell in every day. Got a spanking almost every day.
Probably.
He accidentally fell in it. So that was in that little house. We got married in 87. And that was our first little house.
My grandfather, I think he built it in 32. Or 32 or 33. My dad was a baby, I think, when they built it.
Oh, wow. So that's the house your daddy was born into. Well,
no, he wasn't born there, but he was
a toddler, a baby.
Like 1 or 2 or 3 when they moved in there.
Oh. Whew, goodness. Wow. Now this road here we're on is called the Evelyn Gandy Road. Now Evelyn Gandy was lieutenant governor of the state of Mississippi.
Few, if I know it was the first. I don't think there's been another one. Female. Lieutenant governor.
But now she's your relative somehow.
My mother, Evelyn's mother, and my grandmother were first cousins.
Oh.
Yep. This road hadn't been here about 20 years, maybe 25.
Yeah, it was just a little bitty road. Oh, there's some major police action up there.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. See it?
I see it now.
Okay, we're gonna go check the mail, and then we're gonna show you our second house. Well, let's go see if the check is in the mail. We hear it a lot. Checks in the mail. Let's see. Well, was the check in the mail?
I need my bill, so I guess that's a good thing.
Check's not in the mail.
Well, that's a good thing we didn't get any bills. We didn't get anything.
Yep. Like, subscribe. Hey, buy a book.
Bill to camp.
Build a camp. Going to Alaska. We're coming up on First Baptist Church of Petal. Now, when we went to church here, it was not here. When we went to church at the First Baptist Church, it was not here. This is the building that while we were going to First Baptist, all the building funds was trying to get to this church here. And of course, we had done long gone by the time they started building this. But that is First Baptist Church of Petal. As I say, when we were living here and going to First Baptist Church, it was a smaller church downtown Petal on Main,
George and Central.
Georgia and Central, yeah. But that was the dream. That was what the church was striving to get to, and they finally accomplished it. I'm so glad. Of course, we weren't living in Petal anymore when they started building it, I think.
We did go there a little while after we. No, we didn't. We
would go visit every once in a while.
Right.
Because it's like all of the church members, well, not all of them, but the majority of them was good friends.
Oh yeah.
Good friends. We could go in that church right now and feel like we've never left. It's just like home. I guess it will just be like our home church. I don't know. Now we're coming up on the subdivision where
we moved to it after we sold the farm.
So this will be after we sold the farm. So let me give you the view of it. Of course, this little road, which is really nice now, but at the time it was just 2-lane.
2-lane, yeah.
And it was the busiest road in Petal.
Yeah.
It would take us longer to get out of our subdivision, across the road, and to school than it did when we moved to Oak Grove, having to travel back.
Yep.
To take the kids to school here. But is this the entrance?
This is the entrance, yes.
The one that we always had?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. So this is the entrance. Of course, now they didn't have that little house there.
No, I don't think so.
Mm-mm. But this is the entrance. This was Trailwoods in Petal. And after we sold the farm, we decided, let's just get just a house. And a lot of our friends lived here.
Yeah. Nice lake.
Really nice lake. Watch that person drive. Running.
I think it was about 50 or 60 acre lake.
Yeah.
You might can see it through there.
I don't know. Let's see. You might can see it back there. Just a tiny little bit of it. You can see it through the woods. But this was a very peaceful and a fun time for the kids because all of their friends lived here.
Yeah, and there was a golf course.
Yeah.
At the time, it's not there anymore.
It's not there anymore. Golf course that would back up to the subdivision here. But in fact, there were so many kids in this subdivision that the school bus was only loaded with this subdivision.
Yep.
Yeah. It was just one school bus for this subdivision and take them to school. And my kids, they were always tuition pay students, so they never got to ride the school bus. So when they moved here, Rebecca was so excited. We're riding the school bus. We're riding the school bus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That didn't last long.
That didn't last long. Like, come get us, Mom. It's hot on the school bus. Nope. You ride the school bus. But now I think they were out of gymnastics by that time? I think so. Yeah.
Probably.
So, yeah. Because prior to this neighborhood, when we was on the farm, they were in gymnastics. Oh, I still know where all of our friends used to live. Wow. It's so nice. That's where the Rhodes used to live, I think. No, the Rhodes used to live right there. No, right there. No, somewhere up in here.
Right there.
Yeah.
One
Yeah,
of them.
one of those. It was there. It was there. Yeah. But wow. It's nice. All right, I'm going to fix a turtle on our road. Cherry Oak Trail. This was our road. So peaceful. So peaceful. I look back now and think, why did we sell the farm? But it was meant to be.
Oh, the boy going fishing.
Oh. We're coming up on our house. This one wasn't there when we lived here.
Yeah, it was.
Was it? I don't remember
that.
that.
Was the pits.
No, the pits is right here.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Okay, this is where we lived. This was our long driveway. Remember them doing the rollerblades? Now, this is not our house.
Nope.
Our house burned after
we moved.
After we moved. The person that we sold our house to, the house burned. But that was where it was situated.
Yep.
I'll try to find a picture of it. As I say, we loved that house. It was probably the biggest house we had. Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. I know it was the nicest subdivision that we ever lived in. And the kids had lots of friends. And we had lots of friends. Coming up on the cul-de-sac. We'll just turn around and go back out. But we sold the farm and we moved here.
Yep.
Now, when we sold the farm, that's when we learned about this little thing called, what was that word our accountant used?
Capital gains.
Capital gains.
Yeah.
I'd never heard of that word.
Well, it was not a fun word.
That's not a fun word. Not a fun word at all. Capital gains. I wonder who made that word up.
Some politician.
Yep. Because we're not taxed enough. Oh, no. Mm-mm. Oh, no. Anyway, it was just a sweet little neighborhood. This was our, let's see.
Fourth house.
Fourth house. Yeah.
Well, if you count, we didn't own my grandparents' house.
No, that was the first one. And the second one was Sunrise Road. And the third one was the farm. And this was our fourth one. Just a bunch of gypsies. That's all we was. Just gypsies. Couldn't stay situated long at all. Now, when we sold this house, now the reason we sold this house was my mother lived in Oak Grove. And she is a diabetic. Like, you know, you already know that. And this was before her pump.
Yep.
Before she got the insulin pump. And she had one of those little things that you put around your neck, the Life Alert. And we were getting calls all the time from that little lady at Life Alert. Miss Bayless, this is so-and-so from Life Alert. We just want to let you know that the ambulance has been called. Your mother is en route.
Yep.
It's like, oh my goodness. So it was constant. I mean, it was constant.
It was
Middle of the night, we'd have
probably 30 miles from here to
Yeah.
20
Yeah.
miles at least. 25
Oh,
30 miles.
if at least, yeah. And so we just decided, you know what?
She wouldn't move in with us.
No. Mm-mm. So we decided that we're just going to get a little closer to Mother because I was running my legs off, and with the kids and all the activities they were in. So we decided to go look at some houses in Oak Grove, and we found a house, and the people who were selling the house, guess what? She was a teacher and she had gotten a job in Petal. So then we got to talking about, well, let's just trade houses. How about that? And so I hired Molly Maid service. That may not be that. It was something like that, Molly Maids or something.
Yeah, I think that was it.
And we were to close and move in at the same time. So they bought our house, we bought their house in Oak Grove. And since it was going to be so, busy and chaotic, I hired the Molly Maids. So as we were, and I boxed up early. I was ready.
Yep.
And I had the glass, the windows done, and the ceiling fans done, and the carpet shampoo. I mean, the whole kit and caboodle. Scrubbed my house. The Molly Maids did, and we moved all the stuff, thinking that they were to do the same. They were to do Molly Maids, so that while we're at the closing, our houses are being cleaned exactly the same, so that we could move right in. Only they didn't do that. Her definition of clean and my definition of clean was a little different.
Yeah.
Plus, they had three little children, three little girls, and there was a solid line up to a certain height all the way around their living room and bedroom and stuff, where there was boogers. Those little girls would flick their boogers and put it on the wall. So we had to get the little boogers off.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
It was terrible.
It was terrible. So needless to say, all of our stuff had to stay in the garage, with the exception of the beds. I think we did put the beds up. But everything else was in the garage and in the extra storage garage, because it was a nice little shop area that had an office to it. And I cleaned. Of course, by that time I was a little outdone and stressed. So needless to say, I cleaned.
Yep.
Got them boogers off the walls. I'll never forget that. What is that, Mommy? Well, I think it's boogers, kids. Just don't touch them. So we were going to stay there long enough till we found what we wanted to find. And then Mother got on the pump, and she got much better. Much, much better on the pump, because it regulated. She'd get like half a unit every hour or so, and then at night she'd get less. And that helped take away all those midnight trips to the hospital. Whew. So we stayed in that little house about 3 years, I think.
I'm not sure how
Longer than we thought. Yeah. All right, we're coming up on our second house. Okay, we are coming up on the second house that we bought. We had lived in the little first house, and we were paying, we had bought 10 acres, and we were making a note on those 10 acres. And we almost got that 10 acres paid for. Maybe we did. I'm not really sure.
Yeah.
And we decided, you know what? I think there was an open house, and we come to this open house. And, oh, there's a church there now. I didn't know that. All right, let me show you. All right, this was our second house.
It looks different than it did when we
Oh, yeah, it looks much different. I think sometime years after we sold it, they had a tornado come through here. So I'm going to try to maybe roll your window down, Chris. This was our second house. Now, it didn't have a screened-in porch. 1070 Sunrise Road. But that was our second house. Now that little window upstairs, that was Eli's window.
Yeah, I think.
And then Rebecca was on the other side, and our bedroom was downstairs under that window. But that side the two double doors, the two windows right there, that was the children's den. And then, of course, now it wasn't screened in then. It was just an open porch.
Yeah.
And
I don't even think it was brick, was it?
no, it wasn't brick. We just had white pillars. Yeah. Now, I remember the first thing we did, the first thing that Chris's parents did when we moved here was they put up a fence for us. That was their housewarming gift to us, was that chain link fence. And it enclosed the backyard because this was this is a fairly busy road, and we had a 2-year-old and a
baby
3-year-old, I think. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, 2-year-old and 3-year-old. Yeah.
Something.
Yeah. So anyway, this was 1070 Sunrise Road, and it was a good house for us.
Oh yeah.
It was good. Yeah, it was good. We lived there for a couple of years, and then we found the farm. And I don't even know how we stumbled upon that. I think you stumbled upon that farm.
Yeah, it was. Remember, we was trying to buy that other farm down in Maxie.
Oh, that's right. That's right. We was trying to buy a farm in Maxie.
And it was in foreclosure, and my attorney was trying to get it, and we bid on it, and he called and told me, he said, look, you're not going to get that one. Some federal judge's nephew or something wants it. He said, but I do know another one. One of my other clients is trying to sell that. He's had it up for sale, and it's 6 months come up, and they couldn't come up with money. He said, this is a nice farm. He said, you need to go look at it. Needless to say, as soon as we got there, I knew it. That was perfect for us, And because he had been unweighted 6 months and it didn't go through, he was willing to negotiate a little bit. So we had a pretty good deal on it. I don't know how long we was on the farm. 8-9 years? Maybe?
No, not that long. Let's see.
At least 7.
Eli was in kindergarten. And
I think he was in the 8th grade when we moved.
No. When we moved to Oak Grove, he was in the 9th grade. And we were 2 years at the other house.
7 years. 6 or 7
yeah.
years. Well, I don't know. It was at the time it was perfect, and then later it wasn't.
Yeah, it was one of those things where we turned it over to God. I said, Lord, if it is meant to be for us to sell this house, this farm, and move to the city, let us know. And at that time, I was a nurse, and I was working night shifts. You work a month of day and a month of night, 12-hour shifts. And then on the days off, you have staff meetings and training sessions, and it was back and forth 5 days a week to gymnastics. And we had the cattle farm, the hay field, and the air conditioning, refrigeration business. And I was doing the books on that. And it was hard. It was very, very hard. I would have to leave the farm at 1:30 to get to the school, to be at the front of the line so that I could get Rebecca, so that I could be at the front of the line to get Eli at the next school, and be in Hattiesburg by 3:30 or by 3. Yeah. And then I would literally have my nursing outfit, and I would change into that, or either I'd already have it on, and then I would go work 12 hours. And then the next day I would get home, and by the time you feed the animals and you go to bed, take your shower and go to bed, I was getting like 4 hours of sleep a day, and it was hard. It was very, very hard. And then on the weekends we were going to gymnastics meets, and I still had to do his office work.
Yeah.
It was the very, very hard time. And you were working from, daylight to dark. It was hard. Now, I wish now we had the farm, but it was meant to be. Somebody come up and bought the farm. It just like all the doors opened. Then we found this house in Trail Woods, and we put a bid or whatever you call it. Made an offer. And then, it all worked out. The kids turned out good. We got into a really good church, and I know it was meant to be.
Yep.
There was no doubt. There was no doubt that we asked. It happened. It was meant to be. But, it would have been nice to be able to have a little farm too. Buy a book, subscribe, share, like, comment, tell your friends. All right, so I'm going to turn it off, and when we get out to the farm, I will holler back. When we moved out to
the farm,
we changed churches because it was a long way back to First Baptist, and we went to Indian Springs Baptist Church, and that is it right there, Indian Springs Baptist Church.
Yep.
And that is where Eli was baptized.
Yep.
We still traveling.
Yep.
Still traveling. All this woods. Forgot the name of this road.
Indian Springs Road.
Oh, Indian Springs Road. Yeah.
This is the old Clinton Lumber Company land.
Clinton Lumber Company. On our farm road, there was us. The Filliganes had a weekend farm. And who was the people when you first moved in? When we first turned in? Filliganes. It's Filliganes?
Yeah.
So it's Filliganes, then us, then the
Wilson's.
the people that had the weekend. Bond?
I don't know.
I don't remember. But anyway, then the next, like there was like 600 acres. And, that's the Wigleys.
Yeah, that's where it lives.
Yeah, but they don't live at the 600 acres. That was just their property. And then everything else belonged to
Comps.
Yeah. Everything else belonged to
The Wilsons.
the Wilsons,
Which was originally the Clinton
which was
Lumber Company.
originally the Clinton Lumber Company. And so, as far as neighbors, that was it. I don't know how many miles that road was.
10 miles, probably.
10 miles. So it was us, the Filliganes,
Then the
and the
Wilsons.
Wilsons. Oh, it's so pretty out here. So pretty. Still hadn't got there yet. Still traveling. Still traveling. Even though we were far from Petal, where our children went to school.
Different county.
And we're in a different county, so they were tuition. Now, is this Memorial Baptist Church?
It is.
Okay, this is the little church right before we turn onto our road.
Yep.
Memorial Baptist Church. Oh, wow, they got a big old, I guess you would call it activity center.
Yeah, I guess so.
Wow, that's nice. They didn't have that back then.
No.
It's been how many years since we left this farm?
I try not to come this way because it
Brings
I don't
back
know.
memories.
Yeah, I guess.
Oh, he
not
gave
really.
up his farm. He really did, and I wish 1,000 times that we could have kept it, but
We couldn't do everything we had to do and keep the farm.
yeah. Is this the road here?
It is.
Oh my goodness! Look, it's clear cut.
Yeah, it's changed a lot.
Wow, it has changed.
This was all big timber.
Wow, look.
That's the back of, I mean, you can see the farm through there, that field.
See, this is all cut.
This is
now.
all new. And
Wow, look at all these houses here.
none of these was here.
That was not here. Now these people had moved in right
Right.
towards the end of ours. But this
This
was
house
the
was
filling
here.
gains. This was the filling gains. And our property is all that land back there.
See, that barn there wasn't
The
there.
barn there wasn't there, but that was our property.
Yeah,
And our property started here.
right here. Yeah. Well, I
So
mean,
all of that
to that tree line back there.
to the very, very back tree line. All of this. That was the little house.
Yeah.
Oh, it's not focusing. Oh, yeah. Here we go. And all these pecan trees. Now, I do miss my pecan trees. Oh, wow.
That little metal building wasn't there.
Yeah, the little metal building was not
And
there.
it wasn't green like that.
No, but that was our house. Now, stop right here. Stop here. Okay, the first room right here, that was Rebecca's. Under the porch was the living room. The dining room was next, that little single window. And then the two little windows right there behind the bush, that was our bedroom. And then we added on, and that was our closed in the garage, and that was our bedroom, and that became our little study. Yep. Wow.
That was the farm.
That was the farm.
And there was some big trees missing too.
Yeah, there's a lot of trees. Now this barn was ours. It was there. Boy, the barn is kind of run down. Now this was the little weekend property.
Yeah.
Wow. We had lots of little ponds on it. Ooh, the barn has gone down.
Yeah,
Look
it
at
has.
that. Oh, and it's missing the equipment shed. The equipment shed is missing.
It was over by this little one.
That was the barn. And that was the hay. We stored some hay up in there. And that is where those wasps built their nest. Now, where that fence is right here, there was an equipment barn there.
Yeah.
Equipment shed that we put all our tractors and equipment in. Look at that. All of that was ours. All of that. Now that was the comp land, and this was the land that went to the Wilsons.
The road.
The road, yeah. I know he misses it.
Yeah, well, it has changed. It was clean and neat when we had it.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, that metal.
That was the
The equipment
equipment.
shed went from all down that fence.
Mm-hmm. It was a really big equipment shed. We housed all our, I don't know what all that farm equipment was.
I built that fence. Didn't I?
I don't know.
I think I built that fence.
This was all wood fence.
Yeah.
All the way
I
along
built
here
the
was
metal
wood fence.
fence.
I don't remember.
I think I did. I mean, I know I worked on it. I think I built it.
I don't
But
remember,
it's been
Chris.
a long time.
Yep. Wow. That was our third house.
Well,
It was brick. The shutters were not that color, and the roof has been replaced with a green.
and it wasn't metal either.
Yep.
It still went over.
Way
that
over
tree
there.
line.
Way past.
And see,
I think we planted those pine trees.
Yeah, they either
All those
cut
pine
them down
trees.
or they. I don't know. That was pine trees.
Yeah.
In that section back
You
there.
might want to get on your side of the road.
Ain't nothing.
Yep.
But
It was meant to be, and I just know it was meant to be. Sure do miss it.
yeah,
We had a telephone company called Franklin, and if it rained, you didn't have telephone service.
I think they had one squirrel running it.
If it rained, the phone was gonna go down. Yeah. I don't remember how many cows we had. I'll try to find a picture of some of our cows. We
Oh,
named
we had
them. Not all of them.
60 and 75, sometimes more. Mama cow.
Yeah. Yeah. That used to be a big white wooden house. It must have burned down
It did.
or replaced or something.
Oh, it burned.
But that was our third house. And when we moved into it, since the children were little, I made the colors of their room the same color of their bedroom on the Sunrise house, so that it would be familiar to them.
That house is neat.
Oh, that's new, yeah. Wow. That's something. There you go. Pure gypsies. Okay, this is the road to the house we traded. We were living in Trailwoods, and we needed to come out this way to Oak Grove. This is a whole different county, to come out closer to Mother so that we could take care of her when her sugar would drop and stuff.
I think it's our fifth house.
Let's see. The first house was Main Street. Second was 1070 Sunrise Road. Third was the farm. Fourth was Trailwoods, and this is the fifth. And this is Lamar County, and we're fixing to be turning into the subdivision. All right, we're on the road, the main road in the subdivision, and now we're going to be turning onto what was called Creekside.
Yeah.
Somewhere.
Right here.
It has been a good long while since we've been here. Oh, somebody learning how to ride a bicycle. Oh, how sweet. Yeah. So this was Creekside.
Yep.
It's a little cul-de-sac. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 houses. And that one right there was ours.
Yep.
Now the room on the left was Eli's, and then that next room was, what was that next room? Oh, it was an office. It was an office.
Yeah.
And then the dining room, and then the garage. And this house right here actually was the kids' tennis pro. Well, mine too, but at the country club. Yep, that was it. We were here almost 3 years. I don't know if it was because Creekside lived, subdivision butted up to the woods or not, but when we moved in, we had never seen the likes of roaches. Those big, big roaches.
And plus, that's the woman's house that didn't clean.
Well, yeah.
They come to dirtiness.
But no, those big roaches come in from
that's the wood
outside.
roaches,
It's the little bitty roaches is filth and dirty. But these were those huge, you'd find them outside. But they were in our house. We like to have never, and I told Chris that we're not bringing in my clothes, and I'm not unboxing until you get rid of these roaches. And we like to have never got rid of those roaches. I mean, you'd open the cabinet, and I had to get up there and clean all the cabinets out. Yeah, I thought we had made a big mistake. Big mistake.
Well, we knew we wasn't going to stay there that long.
Yeah, we knew that was just a house to get our house sold and to get out here and to be closer to Mother. That was the whole purpose of the Creekside house. And we ended up staying there almost 3 years, which was a lot longer than I thought, but I think we just couldn't find what we needed or what we wanted, or just got busy. That was a busy time for you.
You were doing lots of jobs when we were at this house.
Yeah.
Lots of big jobs. We had a crew then. Yeah. But anything you want to say about that house?
No. Had a fine shop.
Yeah, it did have a nice shop, and the shop had an
Air
office.
Remember, I had the water-cooled air conditioning.
Oh yeah, it had an office actually, and that's where I did my did the office. Now I had an office inside too. It was 4 bedrooms, 2 baths. It had a sunroom on the back, and our backyard butted up against the woods. But it had roaches. And boogers.
Yeah.
Oh,
But it was a
my
nice
goodness.
house.
But it was nice. Remember that barking dog? Oh my goodness, there was a dog that barked constantly. Yeah. Yeah. But we were there. That was a busy time for you. Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, we got one more to show you. And we left this house, we sold this house and moved into Lake Serene.
We was at the Lake Serene house 14 or 15 years, wasn't
Yeah, we were there a long time. Well, actually, we put a bid or made an offer on the same house twice in Canebrake. And Canebrake's just another subdivision. And that they just wouldn't take our bid. They wouldn't accept our offering, and he wouldn't go up anymore. And then we found this. Little house. It was an open house actually. It was an open house, and we swung in there, and I fell in love with the porches.
it? Yep.
I mean, I fell in love with the front and back porches. Went all the way across the house, front and back. And it was a good house for the kids.
Oh, yeah.
It was a good house because of the lake, and yep. But then you know,
Huge yard.
it had a huge yard, and we did a lot of outdoor work, just a lot.
Yeah, we had koi ponds, and
Koi
greenhouse.
ponds, greenhouses, above ground garden beds. Had a pier that went the whole backyard was on the lake, and he built a seawall pier, went all the way around.
Yeah.
And you built the what do you call that pier with the deck on it? I don't know. It was good, but we were just too. When the kids got married, when Rebecca got married, moved out, and Eli was all over the world, and he
Just
moved
me and
out.
you, and then
It's just
had
me
way
and
too many
Chris.
flower beds, and
It was
all we was doing was working in the yard.
literally all we was doing is working in the yard, and I was tired. And about that time was when my knee really. I had already had one surgery on my knee. Remember that? And it had done good for a while, and then it started to deteriorate, and ended up having to have the other surgery later on. But it was too much. We could not. Now, the plus size of this was my sister lived in this subdivision. My mother lived in this subdivision. Let's go show Mother's house. Yeah. And we could all walk. Of course, you know, I was the furthest away, but the kids walked between Mother's house and Terry's house. Terry's kids. They would walk between Mother's house and Terry's house. Go over for supper, go over for snack. Mother was always cooking. Always cooking. And we loved it. It was a good family time for us, you know. But things change. And then I'm glad we had that big old house, because my sister and her children ended up moving in with us for a little
And your
while.
mama.
And mother. Yeah. And my mother ended up moving in with us. And then when they moved out, we were like, we don't need this big old house.
Nope.
And I want to have a little house, and I want to be by Rebecca, because I was babysitting Juniper. She was born, and it'd take you 30 minutes to go through traffic from my house to Rebecca's house.
It wasn't about 5 or 6, 7 miles,
Yeah.
but it'd take you a good 25, 30 minutes.
It was just terrible. And I said, and there was a little house that came up for sale in the avenues, and we contacted our realtor. Our realtor's name is Ann, and we were like, I think we're ready. I know we're ready. And I think we put the Lake Serene house on the market, and it didn't take long at all.
Oh, no.
No, it didn't take long at all. And we knew we wanted this other house, so we were in a hurry to close on the Lake Serene house so that we could get this new house. Because we had done 2 house notes at one time before when we bought the farm. And I said, we'll never do that again. But anyway, so now we're going into the back of Lake Serene. Okay, now we're coming up on, this is Mother's Road. Oh, goodness. The sun is bright. Oh, goodness. Put that back down. Yeah, this was called the Thrill Hills or something like that when I was growing up. Of course, I didn't go on them. 1, I didn't have a car. 2, I didn't know they existed. And I lived in the trailer park. So. But we're coming up on Mother's house somewhere. It's been a minute since we've been out here. Mother lived on one end of the lake and Terry lived on the other. Let's see. I know we're close.
Yeah, we're far.
Here we go. Right here to the left. That was Mother's house. Right there. On the lake. She loved that house. She loved sitting on that porch.
Yep.
Oh, she'd sit on that porch and watch people come by. So there was a lake on this side. This one's called the Oak Grove Lake, I believe. And then this one that Mother was on was called the Fishing Lake.
Stumpy Lake, too.
Stumpy Lake? Yeah.
It used to be called Stumpy Lake.
And Terry lived on around the bend. We're fixing to show you that. Lake Serene. I don't know how many lakes it has. But it's beautiful.
Probably 5 or 6.
It's beautiful. We
Good
lived
fishing.
on the lake that was called West Lake.
But it was the same water, just a road between you.
Yeah. Now this is on the way to Mother's. I'm on the way to Terry's from Mother's. This is the same road. Buccaneer. And this big house right here was Terry's.
It's for sale.
Oh, it still is for sale. And they were on this side, same lake, but on this side. It was a big house. It's a big house. And then you'd come on around. I hope it's not too blurry. I hope I'm catching some good video for you. And this is called Balboa.
I think so.
Yeah. Got it this way. It was a nice, peaceful place. The lake on the left is Terry and Mother's Lake. It's the spillway. And then this was the ski lake.
Yeah. It's down too. They got it drained. They drained it every late.
Oh, it is down. Look at that.
Drained it, alternated, I think, once every 2 years.
And this was the neighborhood playground. And this was the pavilion. This pavilion is where I had my first book signing.
Yep.
Yep. It's a beautiful lake. And then, of course, there's the rest of Mother's Lake.
I got 3 or 4 pole fishing rods out there in that one.
Yep. Isn't there a phone out there too?
Oh, I'm sure. I don't know about the phone.
And this is the clubhouse. On this road here is where they would do the annual firecrackers.
Right. They did
The-
the middle where the sparks and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, it was safe.
Yep.
We get in our boat and watch it.
Yeah, we'd bring the boat around here. Now this is Westlake Road, and this is the road that we lived on for a very long time.
I think 15 years.
It was a very long time, yeah. Oh, that White House is new.
Yeah.
It's been a while since we've been out here. That's a new house.
It
That's,
is.
that's pretty. Wow. I like that. Now, this road was very busy. It was a very busy road. And our house is coming up on the left. If we can go slow, is there anybody behind us?
I don't think so.
So,
I can put it.
coming up on the left is our little lake and our house. Right there. And that was our pier that went all the way around. You can look farther towards the back of it and you can see my little garden shed.
Greenhouse.
And the greenhouse, and the back porch, and the front porch.
Yeah, I built that back porch.
The
I mean, the deck off of the
Yeah.
porch.
the second story, that window was Eli's bedroom, and below it was mine and Chris's bedroom. Front porch, the back porch, and we had a beautiful, beautiful view because here's the ski lake,
Yeah.
and that was our house. See if I can get a front view of it.
I'm gonna pull in
No, don't pull in there.
there. I'm gonna pull in
No,
there.
don't
back
pull
up.
in there. But that was our sweet little house. Right there. Loved my porches. Absolutely loved my porches. And y'all know the rest of the story.
Now we're in the Meemaw house.
Now we're in the Meemaw house. And it is perfect. It is perfect for our stage of life that we're in.
The main thing is it don't have a note.
It doesn't have a note. Of course, you got insurance, taxes,
Oh yeah.
but every house has that. Yep. Of all the houses, each one has a special meaning,
Oh yeah.
and they were perfect for that stage of life. If I had to do it all over again, maybe we should have just rented, instead of selling the farm, maybe we should have just rented a house in Petal. Because it, you know.
Well, it was meant to be. You don't know what the kids have turned out with it.
Yeah, that's
They had a
true.
good bunch of kids they went to school with, and they kind of watched out each other.
Yep. Yep. And now we're on Highway 98. And we're going to our little Meemaw house. Not sure if you can see it, but the moon is pretty. You can see the moon already. Oh, and if we win the lottery, we'll move one more time before the nursing home. And if
What's
we,
that gonna be?
I don't know, probably next to Janice and Sean.
No,
You don't want to move to Missouri?
no.
Uh,
I'm going toward the Gulf.
oh, he said he's going towards the Gulf. Yeah. I don't know. If we win the lottery, we'll see. If not, I'll be right there in my little Meemaw house until it's time to go in the nursing home. Or I'll move in with Rebecca. Or heaven.
About to work me in the ground.
I am not. All right, y'all take care. I'm glad y'all came along with us because we were just nothing but gypsies. Are we going to stop at this red light?
I might.
All right, see y'all.